What's up, everybody? So, someone just emailed me, and, well, a subscriber and I were kind of conversing in the comments, and then they emailed me and they said, hey, you might want to address the topic that you just brought up in the comments of mammon. And, that's what I'm going to do here. It's, I think it's like 1:45 in the morning. I'm at an Airbnb, so I'm trying to be quiet. But back in 2020 is when the Lord woke me up for a third time regarding the end days, or whatever you want to call where we're at. Now we're in the tribulation. But anyway, I did a bunch of videos in 2020 on this topic of getting rid of your mammon, particularly trying to sell it. And so I just want to, since I've got a lot more subscribers now, let's address this. So what is mammon? Mammon is basically anything that you don't really need for survival, but that is a thing of comfort. It's a thing that your flesh desires. Just to list off some stuff: jewelry. And I mean, this could be on like a spectrum, I guess, but just off the top of my head: jewelry, fancy clothes. What kind of stuff have I been selling over the last 2 years? Knickknacks, art, decor, just anything that you don't really need that could have possibly any monetary value. If you have not already been doing this, you need to start doing this now. Sell it. I'm telling you right now, sell it. Post it wherever you can. And what I do is I try to look up, I do some research. I find out, okay, like what's the going price for this item or something similar, comparable to it. And I'll either go with that price, or maybe I'll go a little bit cheaper, depending, whatever. And I try to sell it. And then if it doesn't sell quickly, then after a while, I might lower the price again or whatever, okay? We are in the tribulation. The third seal has been opened, and it's only going to get worse. And the fourth seal is coming around the corner. We are in the tribulation. Things are only going to get worse from here on out. And so you need to start selling your mammon. You need to start liquidating, basically, your assets, okay? That pretty picture hanging on the wall, sell it. Your jewelry, sell it. As far as the ladies go, I would get rid of all skirts and dresses. I know that's a controversial topic. I've done videos on that, but people have had dreams and visions about how rape is going to be happening, etc., etc. As a Christian woman, you should be dressing modestly anyway. Not to say that, well, some people would argue for and against whether or not skirts and dresses are modest or whatever. In my personal opinion, I think that they were designed to have, easy access, so to speak, whatever. Pray about it. Pray about everything. But these are the things that I've been selling since I woke up at the end of March 2020. Okay, I've been selling my skirts, my dresses, my jewelry, my art, my knickknacks, my decor. Just anything that I really don't need for survival. Anything where, the crap hits the fan and you're going to leave it behind, might as well sell it now. Might as well turn that into money, because that money can pay off debt. That money can buy you food. That money can buy you any kind of equipment, etc. Preps, okay? So this is just a reminder, an exhortation to go to the Lord and pray about it, but start liquidating your assets. Whatever you do not need, I would recommend, praying about it and seeing if maybe you can sell it and turn it into some money, turn it into some cash. I'm trying to think of what other points or examples. I don't know. Collections. Ladies, I know we like to collect shoes. You keep the shoes that are practical, and if you don't have practical shoes, I would sell the ones that aren't practical and use that money to go get some practical shoes. In 2020, I made sure that I had some comfortable quality like sneakers. I actually bought myself these hiking boots, but I just can't stand hiking boots that go up over your ankle. I know that's there to like help you prevent from like spraining or breaking your ankle, but it just rubbed on the back of my my leg, and I just couldn't stand it, so I ended up donating them to someone. But I made sure that I had practical shoes. I made sure I had for both cold weather and hot weather. I made sure I had the kind of sandals that go around, that strap around your ankles, so that if I need to, I can run in them. Okay, this is the kind of mindset you need to be getting into if you're not in it already. Okay, start swapping out what you don't need for what you do need. In 2020, I made sure to get myself basically what I'm calling my like tribulation wardrobe. And even since then, I've decided that some of what I bought then isn't necessarily the best or whatever, and I've swapped some stuff out and whatever. Okay, but make sure you've got comfortable clothes that are quality and functional. Okay, trying to look sexy, trying to be cool, trying to be trendy, all that needs to go out the window. It doesn't matter anymore. Okay, it really does not matter anymore. Jewelry could be I don't know what word to use. Is liability the right word? If you are wearing jewelry, that could put you at risk for being in danger, because when the crap hits the fan, people are going to be going crazy doing all kinds of stuff. So you don't want to be drawing attention to yourself sexually, and you also don't want to be drawing attention to yourself regarding, someone wanting to rip a necklace off of you or steal a ring off your finger, or, earrings off your ears, and that could be painful. They could tear your friggin' earlobes. And this brings us to the concept of gray man. Okay, if you've never heard of the concept of gray man, there's tons of videos on YouTube about it. It basically means to be inconspicuous, to not draw attention to yourself. And the obvious thing regarding that is, don't wear like, neon colors or something like that. But it can also be something as subtle as, there was one video I was watching, and the guy was giving the example of how he had a hat on that had the American flag on it, and he was at a party and somebody walked up to him just because of what he was wearing on his hat and started up a conversation that had to do with politics. And you know what, while I'm at it, I'm also going to touch on patriotism. The Lord this year keeps talking to me about how patriotism, like just the other day, he flat out told me, God flat out said to me, patriotism leads people to death, or I forget if he said death or hell. I think he said hell. I forget. But basically, like, how you can choose life or death. Like many are the roads that lead to death. Like meaning like eternal death, the second death, going to hell. The more and more I think about it, and the more that God talks to me about patriotism, it really is a form of idolatry. Okay, the only banner, the only icon, the only symbol you should be really donning or clinging to is Christ, and America has become quite evil, and so you really ought to rethink that whole patriotism thing, okay, as a Christian. And that's all I'm going to say on that. It's off topic, but let's get back to the topic of mammon, okay? You want to be selling anything that you don't really need, anything extra, okay? Because it may get to the point where you just have to take your bug out bag and run away on foot or whatever, okay? So whatever you don't need for survival, I would try to sell it now if you can. Start going through stuff. If you haven't started this process yet, start it now, okay? Start sorting through things, figuring out, okay, what can be thrown out, and As always, include the Lord in the conversation, okay? Have a conversation with him. Lord, what do you want me to do with this item, this item, this item? There's some stuff. So, okay, this past autumn when I had a place to live for 3 months, that's what I did. I went through so much stuff. And there were certain items that the Lord said, no, I don't want you to give it to Goodwill. I don't want you to sell it. I want you to put it in the garbage. That's what he said to me. And I was like, okay, certain books or whatever that I had. Like, for example, I had a copy of Dante's Inferno. And he told me, put it in the garbage. I said, yes, sir. Okay. I bought that a long time ago when I was in like community college, and I never ended up reading it because I wasn't led to read it. And he told me throw it out. So just whatever, just go through your stuff and start having a conversation with the Lord about what he wants you to do with stuff. Okay. And yes, it is a psychological process, and yes, doing it now is a little late, but it's better now than never. Okay. And you would be surprised the attachment that you can have to physical objects, to mammon, okay? But it'll also start the psychological process of like accepting that this is reality. We are in the tribulation, okay? I started this process 2 years ago, and I'm still overwhelmed that we're in the tribulation, okay? But start going through your stuff. As for the men, I'm trying to think of like what men collect that really isn't baseball card collections, things like that, whatever, okay? Crap like that is absolutely worthless when the crap hits the fan. So you might as well sell it now for whatever you can get for it and turn that money into something useful, okay? Now is the time to really start thinking about how we're going to survive. Back in 2020, I was starting to get things like shovels, whatever, because you may need to bury stuff, you may need to dig stuff, there's multiple purposes as to why you could have a shovel, and so like just start thinking about this stuff. But yeah, anyway, mammon, just go through everything and get rid of what you don't need, start liquidating it and turning it into stuff that you do need. Trying to think if there's any other points to make here, but like pretty much covers it. But this is just like a quick reminder, and it's very clear. I don't know if you've noticed it, but all across YouTube, both prophetic people, Christians, and secular people, everybody is sending the same message right now of get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, okay? So if you haven't been preparing, you better start preparing. Do not take it for granted that things are going to be on the shelf or available online or whatever. All right, I bless you all in the name of Yeshua the Christ of Nazareth.